Welcome, friends. Today we're talking about what do you do if you've overstayed and you need to stay in the United States and you don't want to leave. Today we're going to be talking about the top options for you to be able to stay in the United States despite the fact that you may have overstayed. Option one is if you have a family member who is an immediate relative, you can file for a green card in the United States. So what is an immediate relative? Well, it could be a spouse, a U.S. citizen spouse. It could be a child over the age of 21, or it could also be a parent filing for a child. Now, in these situations, what's important to note is that you've had to have entered with, in most situations, a visa, showing that you had lawful entry. If you did not have lawful entry, then you might need something like an I-601A waiver to overcome the unlawful presence. An example of getting a green card as an immediate relative would be a situation where you entered the U.S. on a tourist visa, but due to unforeseen circumstances, you have overstayed your authorized period of stay. But you recently married a U.S. citizen. In this case, your spouse, as an immediate relative, can petition for you to obtain lawful permanent residency through adjustment of status. So the great news about this is you get to file for a green card by staying in the United States versus having to apply at an embassy. So typically we do what's called a one-step application. That's filing the I-130, the 485. You can also file a work authorization application with this, a travel document application with this, all at one time in order to eventually get a green card. Now, it's important to note that immediate relatives have a unique immigration category, and there's no annual numerical limitations on the number of visas available. All right, now let's look at option number two. If you've unfortunately suffered from domestic violence, you may be eligible for a green card through something called VAWA. Let's look at a hypothetical situation. This is an example of the types of cases that we handle where you entered the U.S., let's say you entered on a visitor visa or a work visa, and then you're a victim of domestic violence that occurred by your U.S. citizen spouse. In this case, this is where you could be eligible for VAWA, and this allows you to apply for legal status without relying on your abuser. Domestic abuse could occur in a variety of ways, so if you feel like you've been abused, then you should connect with an immigration attorney to see if you qualify for VAWA. To qualify, you're going to need to demonstrate that you are the victim of abuse. The process involves filing Form I-360 and presenting a persuasive case to USCIS. Additionally, you can apply for the 485, the green card application as well, to obtain a green card. Now let's look at option number three. If you are the victim of a crime, a qualifying crime, you could qualify for a U visa. This is one of the best options if you qualify. The reason being is because with the U visa, you can apply for a waiver that can overcome many criminal convictions that you may not be able to overcome otherwise. It also overcomes multiple unlawful entries where the I-601A waiver may not be able to overcome that specific situation. Let's look at a hypothetical scenario. You may be eligible for a U visa, which provides temporary legal status and work authorization. Now, to apply, you have to obtain a police certification from a law enforcement agency confirming your helpfulness in the investigation, and you must demonstrate that you suffered substantial physical or mental abuse as a result of the crime. Now, the great thing is if you're approved, the U visa can lead to lawful permanent residency after a specific period of time, and it's essential to cooperate with law enforcement. Now, let's look at option four. This is a form of amnesty known as 245I. This is a really wonderful option if you do qualify because it allows you to get a green card in the United States. So if you've had a petition that was filed for you prior to April 30th, 2001, and we do a lot of these cases where the petition priority date has been pending and finally gets current, and then we're filing these filing for the green card application once the priority date becomes current, and you can get your green card in this specific situation. So let's look at a situation where you entered the U.S. without inspection. That means you didn't enter the U.S. legally, but you have an approved petition filed before April 30th, 2001. Now, in this situation, you can qualify for amnesty under 245I. This provision allows certain individuals who are out of status to apply for adjustment of status. In the immediate relative situation, you typically have to enter with a visa, but in this situation, even if you entered without a visa, you can take advantage of this option. Now, in order to take advantage of this option, you need to pay a penalty fee and file a properly filed Form 85 to get your green card, otherwise known as adjusting your status, as well as an additional form specifically for the 245I, other documentation, other forms. For instance, if you want to apply for work authorization, travel document, the affidavit of support form. And if you meet with a qualified immigration attorney, they can help you through all of that, of course. Now, it's important to note that with the 245I provision, it has certain limitations and deadlines, and it's crucial that you make sure you're actually eligible for this before you qualify and you understand the specific requirements, because it can be quite complicated. So I'm really excited that we were able to go over some top options for you to get a green card. I advise you to connect with our office. If you have more questions, you can reach us at 916-613-3553. And share this video with your friends because it can help them as well. We've helped clients, thousands of clients over 2 decades. And if you'd like to learn more, you can take a look at our website and view our case studies as well. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. By watching this video, you're bettering yourself. By bettering yourself, you're bettering your family. And by bettering your family, you're bettering the world. Thank you. Bye for now.